What up, G Life? It's your boy. It's a shadow back at you with another video. This one I actually want to do. Maybe it helps better for people to better understand. The overall scenario of life. And now with that we're at the age where technology pretty much runs the globe. Like social media and stuff like that. I'm gonna say this. What happens on the internet, or the character you build on the internet or whatever, is just an illusion at the end of the day. Because however you say or however you behave on the internet is not going to transition onto real life. So on the internet, I could come on here and say that I'm a 5-time heavyweight champion, knockout king, and blah 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 blah. But that's just me saying a bunch of words on the internet, and I could try to convince people to believe this to be so, and people could start believing it and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, this is just the character that's on the internet. It is not going to transition onto the real world. Where people get hurt and stuff like that is where they allow this character to consume them, and then they actually start believing the narrative that they're always speaking, and then they end up getting hurt in the real world because they forgot that they weren't really what they say they were. If there's one thing that you guys can notice about my channel is I never come on here saying that I'll F the mother effer up, or I'll knock him out, or I'll lay that fool out or whatever, because first of all, I don't know the individual. I don't know if I could lay him out. He might lay me out. You know what I mean? In a street fight, anything could happen. You never know who's gonna win. One wrong stab, one whatever, or the punch might catch you at the lucky spot and that's it. It's game over. You never know what's gonna happen in a fight. Look at Buster Douglas and Mike Tyson. You get what I'm saying? You never know what's going to happen in a fight. That's why you should never say you're going to whoop the other person's ass, because you don't know you're going to whoop the other person's ass. And I have always said this before. In the street fight, it's not about who wins and who loses. That's irrelevant. It's about having the courage to throw blows to begin with. The outcome of the fight is irrelevant. See, people think that by assassinating somebody's character on the internet, like, right, if you try to destroy the person's character, that you'll make it miserable, right? But not everyone lives on the internet. You get what I'm saying? So some people are not fazed by it, like me. On the internet, they could say that bitch voice, bitch laugh, or this was not down, or whatever. They can say whatever they want, and that's fine. Everyone's entitled to feel how they want about me and have their opinion about me and stuff like that. The reason it doesn't bother me is because I don't live on the internet. I live in the real world, and I know that my real homies and people that really know me, they know what I'm about. And that's where it counts. In the real world is where it counts. On the internet, it doesn't count for nothing. Because anybody could say whatever they want. People don't know you. You could be making up all this shit up. For all they know. You get what I'm saying? In the real world is where real things count. So not everyone lives on the internet. So while you may think if someone assassinated your character on the internet, you would be devastated and your life would go to shit, not everybody feels the same way. So you could try to insult somebody on the internet, but not everyone takes it to the heart, because there's people that know that this is just the internet. People don't live on the internet. It's on the real world where it matters. If you let all of that shit happen to you in the real world, then that's different. But online, it's the internet. What are the chances of you guys bumping into each other or and everything, and running fades? Like, calling out someone on the fade on the internet is evidence, my boy. You know what I mean? People just can't be arranging street fights and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Do you not know how California laws work? People are funny. You get what I'm saying? That it is ridiculous. It's crazy how much ignorant people there is, and how much people don't really know the California law. They try to say that this is snitching or that's breaking the law when they have no idea. They say that the very same individuals be trying to call out people for fades, and it's like, that's actually, you go to jail for that. So, like, come on now, get it together. So not everyone lives on the internet. So while you could try to assassinate somebody's character on the internet, to those who really know what they're about and who they are, it's not gonna work. You know what I mean? It's just that. You get what I'm saying? It's unhealthy to believe that this world that you create for yourself actually could transition into the real world, or that's how it works, when it doesn't. The real world is the real world. This is just a fictional world. It's very unhealthy to believe the illusion, or to believe, this world that you built for yourself, because it's going to start spilling onto your real life, and it's going to start affecting your character, and that's very unhealthy. You know what I mean? Because the ones that are going to have to pay the costs for that is the ones that are close to, actually in real life, that are close to you, that are going to be paying the price. I'm not saying it to assassinate somebody's character or their behavior. I'm saying it, as advice, because that is some form of psychological damage. You know what I mean? And that would only get worse, with time. Because it's very unhealthy. Understand that the internet is not real. You get what I'm saying? The world is real. So while on here you can say this, and that. I mean, one, if they believe you, they believe you. They don't try to convince them otherwise, because people are always going to think whatever they want either way anyways. Even if you bring proof, my boy, they're still going to believe whatever they want to believe. You get what I'm saying? So don't try to convince people otherwise. As long as you and your closest ones to you know who you really are and what you're about, those are the only opinions that matter. Everybody else's opinion is irrelevant, because it's just the internet. It doesn't count. You don't know these people. You're probably never going to see these people. So their opinions or their insults to you is irrelevant. You know what I mean? Because there's not one person out there that everybody likes. There's not one YouTube channel that doesn't have no dislike. There's not one YouTube channel out there that doesn't have people talking shit in the comments. That is just the way the society is. There's these characters of individuals that just don't like certain people, because their way of thinking goes against their way of thinking, and they don't like that. They don't like that it's like they take it to the heart. It's almost like if the video you're saying, they take it like if you're talking directly to them, because they know deep down inside that they behave this way, and they could probably be wrong, and they don't like it. You know what I mean? So they throw a tantrum like a child, because that's how it is. You know what I mean? Because that's a form of psychological damage. It's not the person's fault. He suffered some form of traumatic event. You know what I mean? I know I say that a lot, but you'll be surprised how many people actually suffer from some kind of psychological defect. As a matter of fact, the majority of people suffer from that. You get what I mean? It's not so much that you should be embarrassed about it or anything like. Because I have some psychological damage to me as well. It's about understanding it and accepting it. You know what I mean? And just working on it. To better yourself. But in order for that, you must accept it. You know what I mean? You must accept that you have a fault. And that's nothing you should be ashamed about, because everyone has faults. You know what I mean? Nobody is perfect out there. The thing is that you shouldn't be ashamed about making mistakes. The shameful part is not learning from them. But if you learn from it, you only become better. So there's nothing to be ashamed about. The person you are now, with the wisdom that you have, is because you went through all these events. You could speak from your past mistakes to better now the future. There's nothing to be ashamed about, for that. It's only shameful if you keep making the mistake and you don't learn from it. So it's never healthy to believe, this internet world or living on the internet. You know what I mean? Because it only reflects how you view your real life. You know what I mean? And it's not good, because this will never be the real world. This will never be the real world. You actually need communication and actually interacting with individuals. You get what I'm saying? Because on here you could be being manipulated all the time. There's multiple personas and characters on here that are very manipulative, that are very deceiving, that are very a lot of cons and etc. You know what I mean? Because on the internet, anyone could say anything, and all you have is their word, and they're only going to tell you what they want to tell you. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I never try to come on here and say that I'll beat this fool up or I'll do that, because I could say it, but like, what proof do you guys have that I'm capable of these events, though? Just my word, no? That's why I only speak, for me, and I can only talk like for me, and I never glorify or even talk about any kind of things like that. That's the reason for that. Because who's to say that I'm not lying? You get what I mean? My job is never to come on here and try to convince people, that I'm this kind of person or that kind of person. You know, it's basically just giving my opinion and hoping that my videos could, you know, help people understand things a little bit better. It's never to try to make my neighborhood crazy or this neighborhood down, or me myself as some kind of crazy. That's never the goal here. You know, it's always to try to help people understand stuff better. Because, you know, I know, I'm pretty sure that they have loved ones or know somebody, or maybe them themselves, that, you know, are intertwined with this world. You know, and, you know, maybe helping them understand these individuals a little bit better, or maybe themselves. You get what I'm saying? Because I know homies are not, you know, so, you know, comfortable, you know, expressing themselves and stuff like that. So that's why the internet world will never, you know, get to me like, hey, this person's saying this about you, or that person's saying this. It's fine. They can say whatever they want, and they're entitled to feel however they want. You know, I'm not sweating it. The reason I'm not worried about it is because I'm confident, and I know who I am, and I know that my homies and the people that really know me, because they go on my channel, obviously, I know if they see that these comments, they already know what it really is, you know, because they know who I am, because they see me physically. And people actually really know me physically. Therefore, whatever people say is irrelevant. Compared to, like, if all my friends were on the internet, and just I only had the internet world, and now these people are saying this about me, of course I'm going to be panicking. Of course I'm going to be sweating and stuff like that, because now my friends are going to now not believe the things I've been telling them, because I only live on here. See, this is the thing, I don't. You know what I mean? So that's why it's completely irrelevant. So it's never healthy to live on the internet. And you can never assassinate somebody's character who actually is comfortable with themselves. That's why it's better to be comfortable with yourself. The day you're comfortable with yourself is the day that none of these things that individuals say will ever get to you. I'm just saying, a little advice. I'm Shadow, we out.